turning back.
All right, we are back as Tyler's telling Riley in his native tongue to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, she's the best personal trainer I've ever had.
Yeah, she doesn't take no for an answer, huh?
No, and it's been brutally cold this last week or so. So like she has to like walk.
Cheers,
I mean,
brother.
she has to be. I have to walk her, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no no. So yeah, you can see her like begging for my attention now.
You were gone for how long? Just an hour?
Just about an hour.
Yeah.
About an hour.
Yeah, she doesn't take no for an answer.
No, she needs something to be doing, and I need to be better. I'm to a point where I've plateaued. I need to get back in with the trainer, and like she's got to start doing scent work. I can tell she hasn't really found her nose.
Yeah.
What I've been doing in the morning and in the evening to just kind of wear her out is I'll tie her food and like I'll roll it in a towel and tie it in a knot, and she has to figure out how to get to it.
And does she?
Oh yeah. She spends a good 40 minutes like sniffing around it and like shaking it and unrolling it, and yeah. And then she's like kind of, wound down for a minute.
Yeah.
But
did you know that like when dogs go on walks and you let them smell everything, it tires them. That tires their brain out.
yeah.
Like it really gets them.
Yeah.
They come home, and that's kind of why they're kind of not only like you could take your dog on like a 2-3 mile walk in the mountains, and they are system overloaded in their with their scent. Come home and they're like, man, I'm like a little worn out, and your dog's kind of like laying there, and you're like, man, we didn't even go on that long of a walk, but because of the scent and everything that's going on, it is kind of a lot for them. Isn't that wild?
It's so fascinating. I took her on a walk with a bunch of other dogs, and they all got off leash, and it was like
Even her.
And she was like, they were so worn out by the time we did finish the hike. It was great. It was like the best day for her ever.
Who was you with?
It was the actual kennel group I've been doing some training with. I need to get her name and rep her because
What's the requirement for the dogs? Just no fighting, or do they if they fight?
yeah,
It's okay?
I mean they have to. I mean, obviously it's their way of kind of growing their business. They kind of host these like weekly or monthly walks.
Okay.
And so typically it's your enrollment, I think, in their program where they just, you're on their text chain.
Okay.
Kind of like we do with the jujitsu guys.
Sure.
Okay, that's a little rough.
That one hurt.
I mean, yeah, she's
Does she like chew toys?
yeah. And I've noticed recently she's pulled holes. She's pulled holes in the bedding that I've given her. And she's starting to pull. There's a place in my carpet that wasn't pinned down very well, and she's found it.
Oh.
And she started to pull at it a little bit.
Oops.
I've noticed.
Uh-oh.
But she's great. She's super fun. She's she's just more work than
She's a child
she's a child.
that does not accept. Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
Go watch
Yeah,
TV.
Yeah.
Go play with your iPhone. Get her an iPhone.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
New year.
New year, new me.
New year, new me.
New year, new Danny.
New year, new Danny.
Danny's celebrating. He crossed a milestone. First podcast of this season. First day
Yeah. First day
of retirement.
retirement. Technically speaking, my retirement doesn't start till January 10th or 11th, but my last day of work was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk about some emotional roller coasters, and I wouldn't say distress. I would say emotional roller coasters.
Yeah.
I had some ups and downs, but for the most part, I was pretty good. I was like, I had some cool experiences. We reminisced a bunch the last week. I did work a lot of traffic, which is kind of nice because I noticed that I was a little distracted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I'd be doing something, and I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I should not be. Might want to put me somewhere safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one of the coolest experiences of my entire career. My buddy is a photographer. He's one of my best friends at the
Okay.
at the Traycon. His name is Patrick DeWall. Shout out Patrick. I'm gonna put on there that I give you a shout out. If you want to see some cool aviation pictures, if you want to get some, he knows how to do it where you are there, and you can get a picture of the plane in the background.
Oh, cool.
He has some cool shit. I seen a bunch of his work yesterday. So he and my other buddy set up where I went out with him and they took a bunch of pictures of the
Sorry, this is the problem with having a dog on set. The podcast dog is just freaking out. I guess that's why people don't do it. But
I hope you guys look at the YouTube and see how fast she's spinning, chasing her tail.
and it's not like a quick. It's been like this whole time. Danny's trying to concentrate, tell his story, and the damn dog is. Hey, Riley, place. Come on, place.
So we went out there, and an airport ops guy gets us, right? And I have no idea what to expect. He's kind of like he has full reign of the of the airport. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna go take some pictures. We're gonna do some glamour shots, is what they said.
Some glamour
so we
shots.
go out onto the airport, and we're on a taxiway, and I'm like, holy shit, we're literally out in the middle of the airport, and planes are departing and arriving and taxiing, and there's all this airport movement, and we're in the middle of it. Just the two of us, and then we stop at this taxiway, and my buddy's like, all right, man, when I tell you, you're going to jump out, we're going to take pictures as the planes are departing and arriving, and they'll be right behind you. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, when I tell you to jump out, and I'm going to give you a place to stand. He's like, cool, okay, here we go. Here comes some planes. Okay, jump out. And he's like, okay, see that 4-point square right there? Stand right there. And he's like, okay, just get whatever pose you want. And he's standing there, and he's like, all right, hang on. Here it comes. And I hear this. And literally the plane is right behind me. And it happens to be Delta has different kind of paint schemes, or it has different sayings on their airplanes. This one said thank you.
That's so wild.
Thank you across the airplane. And it's
so
me
wild.
standing on the tarmac, which is what that's called. And the plane lands, and he's taking pictures. So the plane is doing like 150, 100 miles an hour down the runway. And he's click, taking pictures. And he has a picture of me standing there, the plane behind me, and it says thank you.
That's so
How
cool.
fucking cool is that?
That's
Dude,
so wild.
It was so cool. Then we went to another Delta plane, and there's like the Delta plane sitting there. And you get up to those planes, and you're like, this thing is ginormous, right?
Yeah.
So then I take pictures there, and he takes a picture of the airplane, the tower behind it, and then there's a big American flag painted on one of the buildings.
Cool.
And it's me in the middle of these three things. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then we go over to the plane. We go back to the thank you plane. We take up more pictures. We go to the Air National Guard base, because the Air National Guard base is like connected to our runway. And that's where I started, was at the Air National Guard. And so we were out there for about an hour, and this guy's like, man, this is cool. He's like, the airport guy was like, I've never done anything like this. He goes, this is cool. I hope I get to do this more. And he's like, this was amazing. 29 years of government service, of air traffic, all air traffic control. It's kind of rare, that a lot of times people come into it later, or you just have government. You don't. I mean, the military thing is my generation. Was kind of that start of that. But yeah, 29 years of air traffic and government experience, of government work.
That's crazy.
29 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Congratulations.
That whole idea of, like we talked about, celebrating yourself and like being excited and happy for yourself, like doesn't come naturally, because sometimes you're like, don't pay too much attention to me.
Yeah.
They celebrated me for 2 or 3 days at work. Yesterday I walked in, and they had a big banner of the pictures with me.
You sent me a picture of that.
I sent you a picture of that. Yeah. The Traycon was decorated. They had some decoration in the break room, and then we went upstairs, and they had some decorations up there. All my friends were there, the guys that I've worked with.
That's so cool.
I'm lucky, man. I worked with two or three guys that I've known them my entire adult life. One of the guys there, he was my very first instructor in the military. And then when he came to Salt Lake, and so we've known each other for 29 years.
That is so wild. That to me, like some of my really close relationships that I've had are my coworkers, but like after I've left the job, I've obviously like we've kind of lost touch.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, that's the bittersweet of it. And you maybe have something similar to that as you guys change locations, but this for you is those are relationships you've cultivated over 29 years. Like that is
I've told you this before. My absolute best friend. We have known each other since we were in 8th grade. We are related. Hey, be careful there. It's got gum there, buddy. I don't want you to have that. No, I don't want you to have that.
Really?
And so, we've known each other since we were in 8th grade, 13 years old. We worked air traffic together. We've lived together. Our kids are a year apart, or sorry, 5 days apart. Our oldest kids are 5 days apart. He's my best friend. He's such a good person. He's the reason why I am who I am today, because he was a little bit better of a friend. He pushed us to go into the military.
Yeah.
His dad was a father figure to me, you know.
Cool.
And we've spent our entire lives together with each other.
That's crazy.
And we work the same days off. We've been on the same training teams where him and I train another controller, and we're the trainers.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, when I tell people that, like, it's not a normal thing, right? You don't usually work with your best friend.
Yeah.
And like keep like an amazing relationship. So
yeah.
I talked and I told a couple stories about Jeff and I. And they even like their synonyms. They're always like, yeah, Jeff and Danny. That's like, oh, it's Jeff and Danny. Oh, Jeff and Danny. We used to have this back in the day when you would have an answer machine.
Yeah.
It was the Jeff and Danny, Jeff and Danny, Jeff and Danny this, Jeff and Danny that. And I told a couple stories, and you know, I definitely lost. I definitely cried because he's so important to me.
Yeah.
And then he got out there and he was telling stories and he's crying, and everybody is like, of course. I mean, like, it's known throughout the whole Salt Lake, you know, air traffic scene that him and I are like one and the same. You know? So it's cool. I've been lucky, Tyler. Like, super blessed.
Yeah.
I worked my ass off. I think that I'll leave a lasting legacy of like hard work, do my best. A lot of trainees, a lot of people that I trained there. At times, like, I'll be in the TRACON, there's 12 other people, and I trained all of those people.
Wow.
You know? And I think I've mentioned that before, how cool that is to me. And so it's been a good couple weeks. Everybody's like, so does it feel different? Like today, I took a bunch of phone calls. Does it feel different? Does it feel different? And it's like, no, because Friday is my day off anyways.
Oh, you're kind of winding down for the weekend.
I would be already off on Fridays, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd be off on Saturday. When it is going to be wild is Sunday when I get done training and I have a beer, because I've worked every Sunday for 29 years almost. That's so every wild. Sunday, besides having like an RDO or like a vacation, but I'm always on vacation, right? But for the most part, honestly, Tyler, I've worked every Sunday for 29 years.
Did they ever square up your out of office thing? No. That's just kind of, it is what it is.
No,
that's wild. That's wild. But at this point, you're like, I don't care. It's done. It's over. I'm over it.
Yeah. You know, I don't know how I feel about it, Tyler. The guy that, you know, and I don't want to. There's a reason why we need to have a government overhaul.
Yeah.
And the guy that does our paychecks is a clear customer of, you should not have a job.
Yeah.
You should not have a job. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You should not have a job. There's so many things that have gotten messed up, and it's all coding.
Right.
So if it's coded correctly, we get paid correctly. Right. He didn't code it correctly, we don't get paid correctly. So yeah, it's not correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go. I got some time on my hands now, right?
Yeah.
So I can go through my pay stubs and look and double check. Does it matter? Does it change anything? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like, in 29 years, I never looked at my paycheck.
Yeah.
until this guy took over, and then I had to look at every paycheck, and every paycheck was wrong.
Yeah.
Every single paycheck. Not just the government shutdown paychecks, Tyler. Every paycheck was wrong.
Yeah.
And times that by 32 people in my facility, times that by 32 people. One person is in charge of your paycheck.
That's crazy.
And it's wild because it shouldn't be that easy.
No.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
But what it is just attention to detail.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit. He gets a paycheck. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. And if you go up there and you raise hell with him, he files hostile work environment on you. So what can you do?
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Nothing.
Yeah, that's wild. That's so wild that it's still like not more automated, right? Like more.
Yeah. You know what Braxton told me?
Huh.
End of January, it's going to happen again.
Oh, it's going to shut down.
There's another shutdown on the books. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm thankful I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I love when you do that. Look at Riley. She's stoked here.
Yeah.
I think I'm her best friend because she's super nice to me.
She is super nice. She's not nice to all of our friends, but
She's not. She doesn't like everybody.
she doesn't like everybody.
I think it's because like the first couple of days when you were getting her, I seen her right away. You know, it's kind of one of those like things where I think dogs notice those things. You know?
Yeah, it is. And then she does get more comfortable.
Thank you.
Yeah, around
Misty
other people.
says that when they lick you, that means that they love you.
They love you.
You're one of their pack. So they think that you're one of her pack. So that's why she's licking you.
Yeah.
I got this funny story. So I'm giving this heartfelt speech at work yesterday.
Yeah.
And I look over to my right. I look over to my right to look at my manager. He's in a wheelchair. And as I look over, the guy that's standing there has his fly full open. And not like fly down open, fly open, but pants. Like,
oh no.
I'm
Squished,
looking
like,
at what he's wearing.
Oh no.
And I'm thinking, I can't tell if that's underwear or not underwear, but if it wasn't underwear, you'd have a cool breeze. That definitely and all I wanted to do was be like, hey buddy, your zipper's down the whole time. Do you tell people if their zipper's down?
I feel like yes, because I've been caught with my zipper down. Like I have the brown suit, like this cowboy suit. It has a really hard zipper. It just pulls apart because it's not, I'm too chubby for it. But yeah, I want people to tell me, so I try to be like, hey, as discreetly as possible.
What if something's on their teeth or something? Do you tell them?
Yes. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I always like, hey, you got something in your mouth.
You got something.
Yeah.
Like you kind
What
of
if it's like on their butt and it's the opposite sex, and you're like,
yeah, no. No. I think that's a no. I think that's a no.
Yeah, I'm a tell you everything kind of guy.
I think you just have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
What'd you do this week?
This week has been just incredibly recharging. No, I've had my nephews at the house, so that was pretty good to get them. There was I haven't seen them in almost 2 years? No, it's been a year. It's been a full solid year since I've seen them.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, just because of my illness, and so there was this like cool opportunity to kind of just be with the next generation of Clark, and just hang out with them. There's one of them's 13 and the other's 9.
Jamie's 13?
No. Grayson's 13.
Grayson's 13?
Yeah.
Is he still playing soccer?
No, he's gotten way into basketball. So I don't know. I'm just grateful for the opportunity I have to spend with him. She's just on one tonight. I think it's just because she's been it's just like I said, it's been so cold. I need to get the treadmill that the dog goes on. So she can just run some energy.
So what was so when did they fly in?
They flew in a week ago Thursday, and they leave tomorrow or Sunday. I can't remember.
And then so they're with Doug now?
They're with my dad now.
Cool.
They're with my dad now.
How is Doug?
He's super fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
I got a phone call from my dad today, which is pretty rare. Like, it's pretty funny because when I tell people, my dad called, and some of you guys that know, it's like, oh yeah, how'd that go? How'd that go? Because I don't talk to my dad very often, but it was cool because our parallel is pretty similar. My dad retired when he was 44.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he was like, he goes, the first little while you're gonna be like a little I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my feet.
Yeah.
I have all this time on my hands. And he goes, then you settle in. And then it's a decision at that point. Are you bored? You know, you're getting a little too bored. You're getting a little too antsy. You're getting a little too rambunctious. You're getting a little too much trouble with Misty.
Yeah.
You know.
You become the dog.
You better be careful. Yeah. Chasing my tail and shit. And so we had a good conversation. It was good to talk to him. I hadn't talked to him.
Yeah.
I hadn't talked to him in probably, I don't even know the last time I talked to him. I think I texted him on his birthday.
Okay.
But we didn't talk. I just texted him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice for him to call and
congratulate
lots of people reaching out and you know, I don't know. I don't have reference.
Yeah.
Right? I'm of my friend group. You know, I'm 47.
Yeah.
I'm the only one retired.
Yeah.
It's not like I can reference what I'm supposed to do. You know, I hope I'm a leader in this environment. I know it's the right call for me.
Yeah.
Like I know deep down it's the right call for me. I know that I'm going to figure out something to make something work, you know?
Yeah.
But going down there wasn't working anymore for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so unfulfilling to me. And I think that's like one of those things in life as you start a new year, as you start new things, you know, as a new year comes around or new jobs is that fulfilling thing is fleeting, right? And how do you keep your cups, your gas tanks full, your emotional, your physical, your mental, those gas tanks, like how do you keep them full as a man when you're like, this is not fulfilling. It's not fulfilling me. And how do you get past those moments of like, it would be so easy to quit. Yeah. Right? It would be easy to quit everything. Yeah. But how do we encourage and push our friends and loved ones, especially men, to be like, no, don't. Right. Don't just quit everything. Right. But when it's time, don't not. Yeah. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Don't just keep going for a paycheck and be like, oh, this is going to make me happy. It's never going to make you happy. Yeah. No. And that's what I told myself is, it's not going to make me happy. I know. I'm not happy.
I feel that. I feel at a similar crossroads with where I want to be in my own career. Yeah. Like I think of some distinct, like there's been some pivotal moments in my career where I've taken deliberately, I can see as roads in my path, right? Like had I taken this, things could have been differently. Had I taken this exit, things could have been differently. Sure. So like you've now committed to this exit and you've been able to do it like with a safety net that like a lot of men probably don't have. I know I don't have much retirement set up and I'm super nervous about it. I'm like, what am I going to do? I see my dad, I see my own father who's been mostly self-employed and I'm worried about that. And I've got an uncle who was self-employed. I'm like, how do these guys retire out of this business? Yeah. And how? Yeah.
And I don't know, like I said, I don't have a blueprint, but man, I definitely have spent countless hours, countless nights awake trying to navigate every worst case scenario. Yeah. Right. And I think that in itself is damaging.
Oh, yes.
Because if you worst case scenario everything, and I think we've talked about this, like yours and I's personality to ruminate, every worst case scenario, you almost like make it happen. You force it to happen. And then when it happens that way, you're like, see, told you.
See? Yep. Then you confirmation bias. And, yeah.
And why don't you come this way? Come here.
I don't.
Come here. Let's come this way. Come here. Come over here.
She's like, it's like she can't see her way out or her way through.
Want me to move? No, come over here.
She's just such a teenager.
If you look over here, you see my hand.
This is the episode where Riley gets fired.
Yeah, Riley's going to get fired.
She's
going to make her way through there.
As the mascot.
When we go out as in those moments of uncomfortableness or unsureness, grounding doesn't feel like it's there. Like it doesn't feel like I'm grounded right now. It 100% does not feel like I'm grounded. Yeah. Even though like I have all this you know, I mean, I have a good 401k.
Yeah.
I have money in savings.
Sure.
We have our bills set aside for February. We have our money for our bills set aside for February. We paid for our Mexico trip. Like, if I had a paycheck, if I was going to work tomorrow, I'd be like, man, I'm fucking doing really good.
Yeah.
But because I don't know when my pension check comes in, I don't know when I can access some of these things. I don't know when the next money for Danny.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 29 plus years I've had a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
Besides the government shutdown, by the way. Bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm not grounded. What is the way to stay grounded? And it's faith.
Yeah. I think there is that you come to that bridge eventually, right? When you spend enough time just kind of free falling, you kind of bounce off the different fears, right? Mm-hmm. Until you finally say, you have to regain whatever, control is, whatever new normal is.
Sure.
Of course, Cozy's calling me. I thought I put everything on Do Not Disturb.
Do you have them this week?
No, they're with their mother.
Oh, good.
Till the 25th.
What? So, and then imagine if a guy has those like consistently.
Yeah.
Has these, I don't know when the next paycheck's coming in. Cool. Did it for another 6 months. Okay. I don't know when the next paycheck's coming in. I could see like that's where guys don't do well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think what are your needs? What needs do you need to have met? And I think, being able to provide for yourself. And I think this is where a lot of men kind of struggle, early on with school, with college, with all of this decision. Like, I've got a son getting ready to go to college, right? Should he go to college? I think he should go to college for nothing else than the social aspect. Who is he going to network with there, right? Who's he going to bump shoulders with? I think I'm a foundational believer that your network is your net worth.
Sure.
And those connections will you'll build on them, and that's how you'll make money. That's how you'll invest in yourself if you stay humble. But just like, you have to be able to provide an income for yourself. You need that as like a stable foundational identity, like just something to ground your identity in. Mm-hmm. And now you're in this spot where you don't have that. Like, that is how Danny has identified himself.
For sure.
And now Danny gets to be just jujitsu Danny.
Well, and that's what then
right.
Then I think, so then when I went through this steps in my head, what I thought to myself was, then when you don't have, this steady thing that you're doing, job, income, right? Mm-hmm. You better have very steady and solid vices.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You better have some good things that keep you on this organizationally tasked path.
Right.
Right. And it better be stuff that you can go, okay, this will keep me humble. Yeah. This won't like make my inner workings get so discombobulated and so out of whack, because already I'm out of whack. Like, all of my stuff is out of whack already.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
When I go to jiu-jitsu, grounding.
Yep.
When I come podcast, grounding. Because if not, man, I could potentially just be like, well, I'll sit there and just smoke weed for a couple days.
It's containment, right? It's like containment of this pent-up energy as we're watching this one just kind of explode in front of us, right? Sure. You get to a point where if you don't have an outlet, if you don't, you just explode.
Yep.
And it could be that depression that's like, you know what I mean? That's hitting you. It could be that lack of a paycheck. It could be, what is it that's going to creep up on you? And you talk about like just having the container. It's about having the systems, right? Like it's like a life operating system. Sure. Danny's got his breathing, that doesn't change. Danny's got his morning stretch, that doesn't change. Danny's got jiu-jitsu, that doesn't change, right? But where do I get to breathe new life into?
Sure.
Yeah,
where's that time?
What opportunities do I get to breathe new life into?
Yeah, because there's 8 hours of the day, 9-10 hours of the day, 6 days of the week where I was doing something.
Right.
What am I going to do with that time? Is it going to be just boring, bullshit, mundane, look at the internet, scroll, smoke a little weed,
right?
Drink a couple beers. Well, if that's the case, I personally, for the first little while, I am going to just sit there, smoke a little weed.
Yeah.
Take a couple gummies.
Yeah.
Have a good time, right? For a little while.
I think they'll be like the honeymoon phase, right? Like the vacation mode. Yeah. Like the vacation, you're going to get sick of being on vacation.
For sure.
And that's the point when you'll say, okay, now where do I, like, okay, I've done this. Now where do I point my energy?
Time to do something.
Yeah.
And I think, like, because I have this group of friends that, like, hold me accountable, it also helps me not go down a path of, like, destruction.
Yeah,
because I think that the destruction is the root of evil, where men could be really destructive.
Yeah,
right. This is a crazy one, right? Let's say I go to war.
Yeah,
I'm at like 100 miles an hour combat, like fighting for my life. Come back to the States, and I'm like, wow, nothing. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that in our society with men.
I don't think we really fully understand what. What is it, 25 years spent in Iraq and Afghanistan, however long it was. Like, I know I wasn't eligible. I didn't have the eyesight to join.
Right.
But I think that was damaging to a large generation of men.
For sure. I think, like, just having grounded activities that are not destructive.
Right. Yeah.
There's going to be, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of teasing about the drugs and everything.
Sure.
I'm not a chemical person, but when I was younger, I enjoyed weed.
Sure.
And then I had to stop.
Right.
Because if I ever got busted or popped I'd lose my job.
Yeah.
And I always knew that, and I always knew, like, it would be so easy to, like, do whatever I want to do, but I don't want to be destructive. And I don't have a destructive personality.
Yeah.
And so I think as men, we've talked about this before. I'm currently in a reinventive state.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm currently no more what everybody's seen Danny as an air traffic controller. Which, like, again, like, it goes back to I truly have no idea what you do in your job.
Yeah.
I just know that you work with computers, and you are always you're always working with a printing company.
Yeah.
Trying to close some deals and close some stuff, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that looks like.
Yeah.
I'm an air traffic controller. You have no idea. What that looks like.
I just assume the planes land. Yeah. You got
no idea.
Yeah.
And I left my work with Misty never seen where I work. Not once.
Wild.
She's never been in there. She's never seen it. And it wasn't that I didn't want her to see it. It's just that, like, it was a job to me, Yeah. And I was passionate about it, but it didn't define me. And I think that a lot of times the generation above us, our dads, they identified by their work. They identified who they were as men by what they did for a living, right? If your dad was a police officer, you'd be like, oh, my dad was a police officer. And he would identify himself as a police officer.
Yeah.
We don't identify ourselves by our job.
No.
We identify ourselves by who we are as men, what we do, where we take our pride. And I was prideful about my work, but it's just like, it didn't, like, fill my cup every day.
Yeah, no, I think 30 years is an honorable time to spend at a craft, right? You know what I mean? Like, you've done it. I think you've earned your opportunity to now, like I said, breathe the life. I know it feels like a free fall. It's got to feel like a free fall as you reinvent. But you've surrounded yourself with a group of men that kind of help push you into whatever's next, right? And I don't think the group that you're with will allow you to slip into that destructive phase, right? And, like, it's not kind of in the nature of the community of jiu-jitsu, right? For that kind of stuff, like, you'd notice your performance slipping there before you got too far into any type of real danger, I would think, right? Because you just knowing how you like to roll and what your goals are, that lifestyle would become in conflict, right?
I agree.
So you've put in some nice checks and balances as well.
Yeah.
So
have you ever seen a man like where you're like, oh, that guy is gonna fall hard if he wasn't doing what he was doing, wasn't working.
Every day I look in the mirror. Every day I look in the mirror. Yeah. A little bit of disappointment.
Yeah.
No.
What was the first thing you wanted to do? Like, what was your first job that you thought you would do in high school? Do you remember?
In high school, what did I think? I had no idea. I think that's one of the things where my parents were very passive. And I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I'm just going to say it how it was. There was a lot of chaos and conflict in my house.
Okay.
And I didn't get the direction pointed that I needed. Like, I didn't get told. I actually have been doing a lot of studying around this kind of transactional hope model. It stems from my ultra, high high need religion, growing up in this kind of high demand religion, where I just really, I don't think it was intentionally, but like I just was it was just kind of indoctrinated with this idea that if I do X, I will get Y.
Sure.
Right. If I, check these boxes, then X, Y, Z will happen. And I think one of those was actually like I remember my mom saying, like, you're going to go on your mission. You're going to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're going to feel all this inspiration. And I got home and I was like,
that didn't happen.
I have no idea what I should do.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go in and become an EMT. Okay. Yeah. That's like, I came home, went to Arapahoe Community College and was thinking I was going to go be an EMT.
In high school, you didn't have any kind of like idea, like anything?
No, I wanted to try to go play lacrosse in high school.
Oh, okay.
In college, but there was just so few opportunities that it was really hard until I found men's leagues and some more club lacrosse type stuff.
I thought I was going to be an architect.
Oh, really?
I took in 10th grade I took drafting.
Yeah.
Like CAD drafting, and then we did a semester of drawing houses and drawing floor plans and things like that. And I was like, man, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And so then the next 2 years I took like high level CAD drawing. I did like computer, like CAD drawing, computer housing. I built houses. There was times, I drew floor plans of houses and houses. I applied 2 of my houses you could apply to get built.
Oh, yeah.
And I applied 2 of my houses to get built.
Oh, really?
The teacher, Mr. Jensen, I think his name was.
Yeah, that's cool.
He was like, oh, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure that that's what I was going to do. It was so fun, dude. You'd like, you'd draw these drawings, then you would put them through this like copier scanner almost. And then it would give you those blueprint looking things, and it would do it for you.
Oh, wow.
Or you could do it on the computer and it would do it. It was cool. It was fun. I thought for sure that's what
you thought it would be
what I was gonna do.
drafting.
And then one time somebody said, yeah, they don't make that much money.
Really?
And I was like, well, I'm not doing that then. So then I was like, well, maybe I'll just go hang drywall for a little while.
Yeah.
And I hung drywall for a summer.
Yeah.
And yeah, I never drew
again, huh?
Again.
Wow.
I used to spend hours looking at blueprints or what do they call them? Floor prints, floor plans, right? And like try to mimic the writing that they did because they have beautiful handwriting.
Right, yeah.
And the arrows, like I loved the way it looked. I'd spend hours like practicing my handwriting and practicing.
A lot of times they use stencils now, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, now it's probably on computer, but
we had stencils of trees and stuff, that you would put on there, and then you'd have to like whenever you submitted it for in Utah we have it's called Showcase of Homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I applied. I submitted my drawings to be built by a builder to the Showcase of Homes.
Yeah.
But you'd had to like make it look really, really good.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of good feedback about it. The guys were like, man, this is really good,
Yeah.
This is where some of the mistakes.
A high school student.
Yeah, this is where some of the mistakes you're making.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, you would put a bathroom in the wrong spot that wouldn't flow aesthetically. When your kitchen should be attached to your garage back then in 98. That's what they were looking for. Your kitchen attached to your garage because in Utah, You don't want to have to like walk through your house to get to your
groceries,
drop your groceries off, right? Your laundry room didn't want to be near bedrooms because then it would keep you up at night, right? So you'd have to study all these like little nuances.
Of
things.
Buyers, what buyers want in their house, right?
We'd study like other blueprints and what was working, and sometimes people would like what's that called where they steal, like if you were gonna write a paper and you just
plagiarize.
People would plagiarize other floor plans and stuff.
Oh jeez.
It was kind of crazy, but some high school kids somewhere would get their house built.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That is so wild.
It was cool. It was fun. I thought for sure that's what I was gonna do. I have a cousin that's he owns his own architecture company, and
cool.
That's what he does. He builds houses off of his floor plans. And
you got plenty more years to go build some houses if you want to go build some houses.
No. I love it, but no, I don't have that in my.
Well, so as we reinvent, like we've gone through this. Maybe it's less reinvention, or as it is like shedding layers, right? We're men are like onions, right?
For sure.
So you're shedding this layer. Like what's next? What do you think the next year holds for Danny?
I think the next year is going to be, I have. We've had a lot of like talks and conversations with how to help other men.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to work on some of those things. I think I'm going to work with some of the at-risk youth, which I would call them not so much at-risk youth, but the youth that don't have the same opportunities that other kids would have because of their demographics or because of just the fact that they're just English may be their second language. Right?
Yeah, cool.
And try to give them opportunities like in a mountain town. And what would what would that look like, right? What would that look like in a mountain town? Well, a lot of it is outdoor activities that they would never do anyways.
Yeah.
Because it's not innate in their lineage.
Culturally,
right?
Something.
But if we can work with some of the local companies, local businesses to give them the opportunities, man, maybe you get one kid out of there that's just a freaking gangster of an athlete that's able to make it on the mountain bike team or go and paddleboard race with get Trent's paddleboard race full of some at-risk kids or some kids as English as a second language, and they go out there and gangster stomp a race, a paddleboard race, or
they find something,
or maybe like 100-mile run.
That's right.
Some trail running. Maybe I put some English as a second language kids attached to Tyler on, and they're pushing Tyler to run on the trail series. They would never have the opportunity in their life, right?
Yeah.
But if we can give them the opportunity, maybe that's where your passion lies. Is you're never going to get. There's always going to be kids. There's always going to be youth.
There's
right?
always
going to be that. But if these kids are not attached to something, then you're missing out on a demographic of kids that you might be able to help.
Yeah,
right? Keep encouraging them to go to jujitsu and wrestling, and making that part of their life. And maybe you just, out of 10, 15 kids, if you touch. Don't
touch any of the kids. Don't touch any of the kids.
But if you can acquire their one or two kids' attention, to something that you and I enjoy, man, how beneficial could their life be? Then if they're able to, encourage 2 or 3 other kids to be a part of it, you might get a community of kids that have never done this, but they're in this mountain town and they're able to,
I saw this thing. I should send it to you. It's about third spaces. I guess it's kind of a woke state, the system, like thought, like the concept of third spaces, right? Well, and really it makes sense. And if you were maybe describing it to somebody who is challenged, to be a good way of describing it, but jujitsu is like a third space, right? You've got your family as your primary space. You get your friends as your secondary space, maybe school, but it's the spaces that kind of equate our lives. and kind of help round us out, right? The things that make us hobbies, that come out as hobbies, the communities that we belong to, they become the third spaces in our lives. And I just thought that concept was kind of interesting. And I think what you're talking about is like getting these kids exposed to where can they find what's opportunity for themselves, sure. Right? What's rather than just saying kind of figure it out on your own. If you can get some exposure to those things early, then they can see that they have options. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty cool. It's pretty noble, and I think that's a great way to spend this next chapter. I think that's kind of why part of the reason I wanted to do the podcast is sure. Like how do we tell our story and say what's next? Sure. And we know what we know for a fact. This next chapter is going to be discipline oriented, right? The discipline to get back to jujitsu. It's going to be finding your routine, those things that you need to do to kind of reprioritize and re-tackle. Did we cover you're doing the 100? You got the Leadville 100.
Wild, dude.
You pulled the draw.
I pulled the draw.
You're gonna get a belt buckle.
I'm gonna get a belt buckle. Dude, what a wild day yesterday was. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things where like I've always been passionate about outdoor things, but because I don't have a lot of time, when I was working, we did the trail series that year.
Yeah.
We ran, last year. We ran one time last year. Was it last year that we ran? Oh yeah, right after your. Yeah,
one of the times we ran up
diagnosis right after you got out of the hospital. I have these things, right? And Grant, one of our good friends, was telling me about this Leadville, and I've known about Leadville for a long time. I've got some friends that have done it, and I was like, oh yeah, man, I'll put in for it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll put in for it. He's like, yeah, let's put in for it. And I was like, cool. On Leadville, you apply, and the chances of you're getting in your first year is pretty rare, right? And I knew that. I knew like going into it was pretty rare. So when you apply for it, you're able to give a brief story of why you think you should get in this year, right? That will help your chances. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, this is bullshit. Nobody's going to read these things, right?
Yeah.
So I put in there, I was like, well, I'm going to fill it out. And I put in there that I'm going to retire this year from air traffic control. And I had just got off the government shutdown. And I was like, look, don't have a lot of money right now because I don't have a paycheck because I've been part of the government shutdown. I've been doing air traffic control for 29 years. I'm working with kids. I put this big, long message about myself on my application. I was like, if it gives me a little bit of a nudge.
Yeah.
And so yesterday was the drawing. And I remember like, I'm sending Grant and I are like watching to see if we get in, right? And so I opened my email and it says on the big thing, I know you got goosebumps because here it comes you got in. Your congratulations, you are in. And I was like, well, I gotta read that again. What? And it says congratulations, you've been selected as a lottery draw for Leadville. And I was like, wow, I got in. It's that's wild. And then Grant, he did not get in, but he was able to secure it's a kind of like the Tap Out for Cancer.
Oh yeah.
You sign up for you apply for a charity spot, which means he's going to raise money for the Leadville charities. And as long as he raises the money, he gets a spot into the
nice
to the thing, which is cool. So we'll be able to ride that thing together, which is kind of fun. It's wild. Leadville is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I love it. Leadville is an amazing town.
I hope we get a group of people to go out there. Yeah. I know that like my sister and my brother-in-law plan to go. There's some other people from Park City that I know that Grant knows got in. So there'll be a group of people that we know, and so you should come. You should come hang out.
Yeah, I want to come. I want to ride support and make sure your bike's tuned up. And
like even that alone, like you have a mountain bike, so you'll be able to get on the trails and like get out there with us. And we have a lot of time to now put into passion projects, right?
Yeah.
And I can hold you accountable, you can hold me accountable, and we can like really grow. I believe that this is going to explode this year.
Yeah.
I had everybody at work tell me, "Hey, I listened to your podcast." Hey, I listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. I listen to your podcast. I didn't know Tyler had cancer. And everybody was like, hey, how are you guys like? Are you guys making money with this thing? And it's like, no, not yet. And they're like, how are you not making money with this?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, well, one, because we don't know how.
Yeah.
Two, maybe it's just part of that whole build the concrete foundation. And now as we're blue belts in our little journey, we'll learn how to do it. And I think that's part of it is I think we can have a lot of time to do passion projects and hold each other accountable and hold space for each other. And then you go, okay, well, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And it looks like a reinvention of just not of who I am as a person, but just where my time goes in my life.
Yeah. No, I'm totally there with you. I'm excited. This year is going to be a lot of living. I feel like a lot of living is being called for.
A bunch of driving in the bus and
yeah.
Nobody holding me back.
Yeah.
Nothing holding us back.
Yeah.
We can like head out to wherever, go to Montana. I know both my dad and my sister live in Montana. My sister just bought a house, so I think we're gonna go up there and see my sister. Hopefully, Braxton has less than a year left, so I'm hoping that he'll be home soon.
Yeah.
And what about you? What's a big thing that you want to accomplish? Did you write your letter?
I haven't written the letter yet. I'm waiting for my kids back.
We opened ours yesterday.
Oh, you did? The kids haven't opened theirs yet. Cozy, I think, is the only one that did one.
We opened ours yesterday, and in big letters it said, "Did you retire?"
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. It's so crazy to me that you're the one that encouraged me to do these things with my family, and every year I'm like, I forgot what I wrote.
Yeah.
And then you read it, and you're like, holy crap. Tristan's was, did you find a career that will be a career?
Yeah.
And did you find a girl that you have been looking for? And both of those things, he's got those things.
Yeah.
Do you remember? So what did yours say?
What did mine say? I think mine said something about Vessi.
Okay.
I think I said,
are you going to get cancer?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's, yeah. All right.
Are you going to have to fight for your life like a motherfucker?
Yeah. I want to say, did you get did you get your 3 stripes or something like that? I wanted to get 2 or 3 stripes in jujitsu, and, there were some other things about, wanting to build a house and get out of debt. And so did get out of debt.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we got that going for us, which is amazing to think about considering I had cancer, but yeah, we're out of debt now. Good
for you. Well, and honestly, like when you and I talked about that whole thing, I was like, you better do this.
Yeah.
This is something where you like, this is not even a question.
Yeah.
This is not a question for if and when. It's like, no, this is serious what you need to do.
It feels like the full-on trifecta of loser town, but like, at the same time, I'm just like,
do not ever look at it like that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
It is so, I was so happy when we talked about it because I was like, oh yeah, duh. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And I would never, ever think of it any other way except for, no, this is, you have to.
Yeah.
You 100% have to.
Yeah. So I think this year I just have, I'm just feeling this year with just like normal hope, right? Like, I think I'm
durable. God, don't do this to me again.
Yeah. I'm playing the Powerball pretty regularly. As soon as it gets over $1 billion, you might as well might as well throw down and pay attention to it. So yeah, that's really it. It's just living, and then of course competing for Tap Out Cancer.
Yep.
And
did you sign up for the trail series?
I haven't signed up yet. I'm still debating whether or not I want to do it. I want to know if there's one I can do with Riley. Like bring her with me.
There was dogs on that one, right?
Wasn't there? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'll look into it. I want to do one with Riley.
Man, it would be cool if you found like and if not, maybe that's what you do is you do like a veteran or somebody like Survivor's race with your what's Riley considered what's the dog that stays with you?
A service animal.
A service animal. Yeah, maybe that's what you do. Maybe you build your own little race of service animals only.
That's the biggest thing I think for her this year. She's going to be going to school, so we're going to be doing a lot of work with her to try to get her energy reined in here.
She hasn't stopped moving.
Nope. She took her power nap while I was at the sauna, and now she's ready to go. She's ready to go.
Well, I
she's ready to go.
appreciate you letting this episode kind of be about me and
course.
what I'm going through. I'm so grateful for your support. I tell people all the time, like, how lucky I am that I have guys like you in my life, because you've never once said to me, Danny, are you sure you should be doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to be like terrified for me and be like, holy fuck, man, do you have enough money? Do you have savings? Do you have is your house payment paid? Are you could be saying all these things that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And reinforce all these negative things that I'm already thinking. And I could have changed my mind because I'd be like, man, all these guys are right. God damn, I shouldn't be doing it. Not one of my friends, and maybe it's because I pick really awesome friends.
Yeah.
Not one single person said, are you sure you should be doing that? Everybody was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because the commodity and the thing that we don't have is time.
Yeah.
We do not have time. So you don't have to build, you don't get to build more time. You get to have just the amount of time that you have, and who knows if it's gone tomorrow. I may be dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I told myself, is like, the commodity that I don't have is time. And so because I don't have time, I'm going to make more time.
Yeah.
I'm going to find, I'm good. And so I appreciate you. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that you never even once questioned how crazy I am.
I'm so stoked for you. I'm so stoked for you. I'm ready to sit out at the farmer's market and sell some, sell something cool out of the bus.
Yeah, I think, so I have a buddy at work who, him and his wife do the farmer market. So I've already talked to them about like, how to ensure that, so we have to like put in for our farmer's market stuff, and it starts like, it starts June or July-ish. You get the schedule, and then it's like every Sunday you go. So we'll be like on Park City every Sunday, and then like Friday and Saturday and Sunday you go and you set up at different farmers markets.
Yeah.
And some weeks you like just go to certain farm, like Pioneer Park. You gotta hit those ones because that's where you're gonna get your most money, right?
Yeah.
Snowbird. Then you start your fall series, because then they start doing the Oktoberfest stuff. And so you go to Snowbird and you go to some of the ski little areas.
Yeah.
And I think like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time, and I think like I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Good,
let's go. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up and
let's get Riley on a walk.
Get to living. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank
Excited
you.
for this next chapter.
Appreciate you.
Cheers to everybody.
Cheers to everybody.
We'll start seeing you more regularly.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Rise up, no turning back.